So, you've researched the company to which you're applying, you customized your resume accordingly, and you received a call for an interview. Let us remember all that we covered in this video module, especially the section on soft skills and competencies, in order to help you prepare for your interview. As mentioned throughout this module, and particularly Section 1, engineering employers in Ontario state that international engineering graduates put too much emphasis on technical skills and experience, and not enough on soft skills and core competencies.
What you see here is a list of some of the things employers look for in job candidates for their organizations. These are skills and competencies that are important in any of the 3 types of organizational structures we discussed in the previous section. But each structure may place greater importance on certain skills and competencies. While these may all be items that you've highlighted in your resume, they're also important to elaborate on even further in your telephone or in-person interviews. You might also consider discussing your presentation and project management skills. Let's take a look at some samples of questions you may get asked at an interview and take some time to think about how you'd respond if and when you're asked them. Here's one that is common in a telephone interview.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
How might you respond to this question? What do you think the employer is really asking, and what do you think he or she is expecting to hear as an answer? Well, this question is really about seeing if you'd be a good fit for the organization. The employer here is expecting a short statement about your education and professional achievements, and a brief description of your experience, qualifications for the job, and contributions you're going to make to the organization. Let's listen to how one candidate responded.
I received my Master's of Chemical Engineering in India and have been working as a chemical engineer for 10 years. For the first 4 years after university, I was in process engineering where I worked on improving plant productivity. For the last 6 years, I work for a company that specializes in resin chemical sales. I help customers develop new products to improve their competitiveness in the marketplace. If I were to be hired for this role, I would leverage my skills and relevant experience to generate more business and increase sales for your company.
This is a pretty good general response that covers everything the employer was looking for. However, elements of this response will change depending on the structure of the organization to which you're applying. For example, if it's a team organization, you might swap out the last sentence that starts with, "If I were to be hired for this role," and replace it with,
I'm looking to join an organization like yours where I can work as part of a team to generate innovative solutions to complex engineering problems.
You can see that the phrasing is more relevant to the employer in this case, because it addresses a team structure that is used at the organization. Use what we talked about in the section on organizational structures to help shape your response in interviews. Remember, you shouldn't reference the exact names for the 3 types of organizational structures we've outlined in this video. Let's listen to another sample question to hear how another international engineering graduate responded.
What type of management style do you work best under?
I function best when I'm given some independence to make decisions. I like to hold regular check-in meetings with my manager to provide a status update on the projects I'm working on, and to get input and guidance on any work-related tasks.
Let's dissect the question and answer in this sample. First off, what is the employer's intention for asking this particular question? Well, the question is really about identifying the candidate's preference for a macro or micromanagement style. You might ask, what's the difference? Macromanagement is more about the big picture, whereas micromanagement is about the finer details. The candidate's preference is for a little more independence, but stating that he prefers regular check-ins with the manager proves to the employer that he is proactive, meticulous, and a team player. Here is an alternative response to the same question. Listen to how the response differs from before.
I would work best for a manager who uses a less formal management style and encourages trust and teamwork to get the job done.
Please keep in mind that these samples are mere guidelines. When you know your own skills and competencies well enough, you'll be able to more effectively communicate them. You'll also know which points to highlight depending on the job posting and structures of the organizations to which you're applying.
Now that you're done the interview, what next? Most employers like to receive a follow-up after an interview. Rule of thumb is to do so within 24 hours from the time of your interview. This gesture reinforces your interest in the job and demonstrates commitment. The best way to follow up is by email. Send a personalized email to each interviewer or one email that addresses all interviewers if more than one person was present. You'll want the message to be short and concise, thanking them for their time and consideration and restating your interest in the job. You'll also want to restate how you see your skills and competencies aligning with the role. Include your contact details and encourage them to contact you if they have any questions. It's very important that you wait for them to respond. Do not continuously send follow-up emails. This reflects badly on you. There are many things you can prepare while you wait. For example, if your degree or degrees are in a language other than English, have them translated and notarized. You should also have your assessment of credentials provided by PEO ready to submit in case the employer requests it. Ensure that you have your ID cards ready, including your SIN card, driver's license, and your bank information for direct deposit. Lastly, have your list of references ready for when the employer requests to see it. After this, all you can really do is wait to hear back. In the meantime, keep checking job postings and continue applying to those for which you're qualified.